Hey there, still good podcast listeners. The boys over at the pod asked me, Benji from the Warp Dimension, come on over again and give a little quick thoughts on Alien Earth since we talked about Alien Resurrection last summer and thoughts on excitement. Romulus was quite a good time at the movies, and the Alien franchise is back, and god damn it, it's good to see that aliens are finally coming to Earth. It's been teased for so long, and Noah Hawley from Legion and Fargo fame is bringing along his creative juices to FX. There'll be probably no short of gore and some hanky-panky from an Alien side. You know, it is FX, the company, the franchise that brought us such edgy entertainment as Sons of Anarchy, so maybe some aliens on motorcycles. We'll see what happens. As we all, as society knows, we're becoming Wayland Enterprises, aka Cough Cough, Amazon. I hope y'all enjoy this new Alien franchise. I'll be watching. Timothy Oliphant, my kind of guy, justified himself as now a android for it, so some connections there. And also looking forward to wherever Romulus is going to take us next. Definitely no shade, but Prometheus, beautiful looking movie. Couldn't tell you much else about it. Hey, maybe I'll be back to talk more about Predators, Badlands, only in a few more months. All right. Thanks for having me on, y'all. We'll see you on the other side of the warp dimension.
You never fucked a robot.
Maybe you can hum the theme song. Won't hold it against you if you get parts wrong. While the memory's not too strong, there's a piece of you from a time long gone. So while these fuzzy warm feelings remain, the question we ask is still the same. Is it a treasure or just plain lame? Is this still good? Hello and welcome to another episode of Is This Still Good? A podcast where we remove our nostalgia goggles and take a look at past treasures? I'm here as a host whose name is Gavin Velasquez Murray, joined by a co-host whose name is...
This is Sage Bilderbeck, and can I just compliment you on that incredible dramatic pause?
That's what podcasting is all about. Dramatic pauses.
You got your NPR voice. I'm assuming you've got a nice, fresh thing of coffee.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Picture it. Me at home.
And
cozy.
you're ready to very peacefully and gracefully go through whatever we're talking about today. What are we going to talk about today, Gavin?
Well, today we're here to cash in on the popularity of the Alien franchise because Fede Alvarez has yet another sequel. This is probably number 8 in the series, if you don't even count the AV piece.
There's no way to know for sure.
Yeah, so we're here to cash in on that by not talking about Alien, the movie that we all know and love. Not to talk about Aliens, the movie that we also know and love.
Okay, look, audience. You're probably wondering, why aren't these assholes just talking about Alien? Alien's an important movie, and we all love Alien. There's 2 reasons for that. The first is because we all love Alien. It's just going to be a bunch of. It's still good. Good. We got that out of the way. We're gonna gush about Alien for an hour. This is literally one of my favorite movies, probably my favorite horror movies, and I just don't think that's as interesting as talking about a movie that is out of its goddamn minds. Jean Pierre, how do you say his name?
Jean-Pierre Jeunet.
Jean-Pierre Jeunet, probably. His 1997, the 4th entry into the Xenomorph saga, Alien Resurrection. And now's a good time to introduce our guest.
Sure seems like it. Benji, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, everybody. I'm Benji. Thanks for having me back. I guess Go was a go for me. Come back.
Good movie.
Yes. We've reached into... Oh man, that was gonna be such a seamless transition into the warp zone, but didn't do it.
Even now that you've called attention to it,
we plucked you straight from the warp zone.
Zone?
Exactly, it's because I'm doing it wrong.
I don't know this warp zone.
Warp VH, yeah. Intro yourself.
Do you mean Suck Zone? Because that's a different episode.
No, that sounds like your Twister episode you were just talking about.
No, that's actually our podcast After Dark series that we are not putting out for general audiences.
Okay. Let me know when you do Baywatch after Baywatch 9. We'll talk. Yeah. So you mean the Warped Dimension TV?
Warped Dimension, which is even easier to say that we reached into the Warped Dimension and plucked you out of it. Anyway, I've butchered this. This is a podcast that continues moving towards talking about Alien Resurrection, a film by Jean-Pierre Jeunet, following David Fincher's Alien Cubed.
Following James Cameron's Aliens, following Ridley Scott's Alien.
Yes, and preceding Ridley Scott stepping back in and going like, guys, we're getting a little far off the plot here.
What if goo was magic? Guys, what if goo was magic? What if we then just did a normal Alien movie, and then we're all caught up to this month when a new Alien movie comes out?
Yeah. So that answers the why we are here. We're here to
Sure.
talk about Alien. Yeah, I feel like we've convinced ourselves at least enough that we're here to talk about Alien Resurrection.
Well, reason 2 is that this is the only Alien movie that I hadn't seen.
Benji, have you seen Alien Resurrection before?
Yes, I have, and actually, that's why I was really excited to be on here. 1997 is an amazing time, not only for sci-fi but for cloning in general. Yes. So, do you
Explain.
Is this Dolly the Sheep year?
Dolly the Sheep was in 1996.
Wow.
So yeah, this was in the era of Alien Resurrection. Really, I think I don't know if intentionally hit it home. I mean, there's a lot in the wheelhouse going on in Resurrection.
There's a lot going on, yes.
Which
I'll
I
agree with
kind
you.
of love it. It is in some ways a smaller movie than any other Alien movie except for Alien. I think it's not a movie that actually grows like Aliens, like the Marines and like all the whaling stuff, and then 3 goes into like this whole planet. You're a whole planet in.
Well,
prison planet.
It mostly is just
colony.
In a prison.
I would say it's the smallest of them.
It's a cast. That cast is insanely big in that movie.
Okay.
I'd say Alien Resurrection's a pretty big cast in terms of the insanity level.
I would say all these have kind of the same like level of cast.
I feel like it's a more intimate movie in some ways, going back to the first one. I will also say, hot take, it's the best looking Alien movie next to the original Alien. Because I think
Darius that's that hot of a take. I have seen some people disagreeing on the internet, but I fully agree with you. Darius Kanji is an incredible DP.
He brought the 7 to outer space with that. It is a beautiful looking movie. Up until the ending. The ending I have some issues with, but I feel like that would have been yeah. So on that end. But no, I'm a fan of 4.
Do you remember when you first saw it?
Yeah, it was funny. I didn't get to see it in theaters because I was too young. It was R-rated. But that was a debate between this or Starship Troopers. Came out the same month.
Yeah.
Ooh.
In 1997.
Which has got to be pretty tough. I mean, I know both of those movies did okay.
What's even crazier? Titanic came out the month after that.
Oh man.
So
at least you had a month before everyone bought tickets for something else.
Yeah.
And there's no way that you're going to
the dude that made
if you
Aliens
come out in the year after Titanic, you're not going to hit the box office the same way.
What a different time. Like, I mean, I know there's still echoes of it, but I always just think of the fact that like Titanic was #1 for like 5 months or some shit. Like no other movie really got a choice because everyone wanted to go see this love story on a sinking boat.
That
12 times.
Yeah,
an amazing sinking boat.
Fine. That movie's fine. Sorry,
they all were going back to see if that guy did hit the propeller when he fell off the back of the boat. Also, James Cameron of Aliens fame.
Yes, indeed. And also, I wanted to add on the 97 thing. We did get Fifth Element and The Lost World just a few months this summer. So we had
We'll bounce around between interviews, but I remember I was reading with Jean-Pierre Jeunet that he was complaining that he couldn't get any. It was hard for him to even get space to shoot because everything was fucking shooting at the same time. And he's like, guys, I just need somewhere to shoot a movie, please.
All the pine woods were locked down.
Well, I mean, I don't know where you guys want to steer to it, but it's like 3 is a good movie. It's a beautiful looking movie.
Okay.
It is not a perfect
Alien
movie.
3.
Alien 3.
Okay.
It's a good, not a perfect movie, but it does for me, especially during 2020. That was definitely my rewatch. I felt like, oh, this movie really tries to be something different for 3. 4, which we have here, is the safety. That's the thing of like, hey, and especially with this one where they were like, for a long time being like, is Sigourney Weaver going to come back? If she does, it's going to be like a hyperspace nightmare. Like 3 is going to be totally written off. 3 is still debated, as I could see from your
Because
guys'
spoilers for 3, but she fucking dies. She falls into fire as an alien bursts out of her chest. It's bold to make another Alien movie with Sigourney Weaver.
Oh, it's just weird how, to me, Alien 3, is directed by Fincher, but it just is cribbing off Terminator 2 the whole time in my head.
How so?
There's stuff going on there. Yeah.
And specifically, I was waiting for her thumbs up to rise out of the lava.
They did make some changes to the ending. There was some talk about that when they did a test screening. They're like, "Oh wait, this is too close to Alien.
This is too much." Yeah. We've this isn't a James Cameron project. We can't. He might sue us.
Yeah. And weirdly enough, I think it's funny though. Transitioning into 4 is that they hire the guy that literally shapes the cinematic world of David Fincher movies for Alien Resurrection. Like,
explain.
So Darius Kanji shot 7. I believe the game.
Oh, the cinematographer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's interesting
Kanji's also Jean-Pierre Jeunet's DP. He did
True.
City of Lost Children with him before this. Same with the the special effects artists that are on this. One of them is the same special effects guy from City of Lost Children, which is a beautiful looking movie. Also has Ron Perlman in it, and I'm forgetting the name of the guy in the wheelchair in this movie, who I love.
One of many weird little freaks in this movie.
I also say the supporting cast in this movie for 4 is probably rivals to on just great weird, wacky characters and stuff like that.
I would say it would have surpassed it if I didn't hate all the dialogue Ron Perlman was given in this movie. But
you mean the space rapist, Ron Perlman, essentially?
Yeah.
The role he was born to play.
They were like, we didn't get the space rapists out of our wheelhouse from David Fincher's movie. Let's bring back more space rapey.
Yeah.
Weirdly for
he's
a
also
movie
part
full...
Monkey Man. He's Monkey Man too. He's like literally introed as like, oh, he's like making like grunts and stuff like that. So
another weird choice.
So what truly fascinates me about this movie is how different. It's wild to me that you like Alien 3 as much as you do, because I think Alien 3 just kind of exists despite itself. Like, it's very much, I mean, all the interviews you've ever read, all the behind the scenes stuff, it's very much a movie that Fox made, and they hired David Fincher to just kind of be there, which is the worst possible choice you could make. I mean, he's a first-time director at this point, and I'm assuming Fox thinks they can push him around, but there's no director on the planet you could push around less than David Fincher, someone who famously, does 50 to 100 takes to just wear actors down.
Well, it's interesting, but I do think that like if you go from 1, 2, 3, and then 4, the arc of Ripley is really good. Like, there's a really interesting arc.
I'm just talking from the studio perspective, from a franchise of we're making an Alien 4 because there's money on the table, not because we have like a strong artistic reason to do it. They figured out something that maybe works. I'm saying you go from we're going to control the hell out of it and like just completely neuter the ideas that could make a great Alien 3 movie, where they're controlling everything about David Fincher. And like my theory on Alien 4, where they just let Janae just run amok with cinematography, with style, even like the Joss Whedon, who I don't know if he fully wrote this or did like a strong Whedon pass on it that you can really tell. Like, these are all choices that I don't think Fox knew that there was an Alien 4 being made, because it's so wild to think of it being so restrictive on one movie and so like, sure, go be French on the next one.
I mean, what's interesting is the pitching. I actually think this is very much Whedon-verse. This feels like an episode of Firefly with a hyperspace xenomorph running around in it. Like, Michael Wincott is clearly Nathan Fillion. Like, there's some heavy since Firefly moments. Like,
and from my understanding, this is propelled by the producers and not the original producers of the first 3 movies. This is like, we need more money. Let's make another Alien movie. those producers who you just mentioned said, no. And then Sigourney Weaver is like, there's a reason that we killed off Ripley. The series is done. Like, let's go do something else. You guys have been talking about Alien versus Predator. I'm not into it. Leave me out of this. I'm not coming back unless you bring me a truck full of money. And so she peered out her window. She heard like the insert sound effect of a truck backing up, and opened her door to find $11 million at her front door and said, okay, sure. Yeah, whatever. I'll come back.
Let's go back to space.
And Joss Whedon wrote like 10 different versions of this script, trying to, like, he was the first person on. He came on before they had a director.
Okay.
And they went to several of the directors. They were trying to get Danny Boyle, who like went through some conversations, was already doing pre-production on it before he went and did I think it was A Life Less Ordinary. Then they tried to get on Peter, I'm forgetting his name, of Lord of the Rings fame.
Okay.
Jackson.
I don't know.
Peter Jackson.
Okay. Yeah.
They tried to get on Peter Jackson.
You would have had a lot of the same camera moves. That would have been fun.
And Peter
just
Jackson
swinging around and zooming
Damn,
in.
we need to talk to at all too around this time.
Yeah. Peter Jackson decided space was boring. He's like, I want to be somewhere where we can hear you scream.
Yeah.
You know?
I like to hear people scream.
And then they talked to Bryan Singer even before going to Jean-Pierre Jeunet, who tried to talk them out of it too, because he's like, hey guys, 3 kind of seemed like a fine ending for Ellen Ripley. I don't know why we're going back. But then they probably dropped off some more money at his front door, and he said, sure.
Yeah.
As long as I can bring my weird little French people with me.
I think the list isn't as big as 3's list of directors they went
Sure.
through. There's
Neil Blomkamp's also being talked about, like, at around the same time, I think, even.
No, he's
As
like a
early
little
on.
baby right now.
Yeah, he's younger than us.
Yeah, but they've got a tap on that kid.
Peter Jackson. Yeah. Literally, he's the umbilical cord. He's festering inside Jackson's womb. So,
yeah. Did you know that we all look like the weird alien thing at the ending before we come out of the womb?
we do.
Excuse me.
You mean out of which womb? Actually, are you asking homie Leland Ulster, Mr. Anxiety of 1990s movies? Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Literally, the character from Seven went to space from the sex shop.
I do.
Yeah.
That might be like one of my favorite non-alien parts of the movie is just him, like, just what is he repeating? Or just like, what's inside me?
What's inside me?
Inside me? Like 20 times. I'm like,
and you
yeah,
literally
this
see
is
what's
perfect.
inside him.
Yeah,
that's the great thing about it.
Yeah.
I feel like this new one will definitely home in on that a lot, because already from
as they
trailer,
should. You know, that is a fun part of this movie. Speaking of this movie. Did you like that transition? I think we should quickly do a summary of the series. I'll just steamroll through this, okay, so we can get it out of the way, because we're already several minutes into this podcast and haven't summarized these films. Alien, a crew in space finds an alien on their ship, and all get murdered off until Ellen Ripley manages to survive and escape unscathed, ? Into the second movie, where instead of being on a ship, her and a bunch of people go to a colony that has been run amok by aliens. She is unhappy about the whole situation, but capitalism wins out, and a bunch of people die. A bunch of aliens die now. This time we find that they are a lot more susceptible to gunfire than we thought, and real fire, even more so.
Mm-hmm.
All is to say, a third movie happens. This time, the survivors of the last movie have escaped in a ship. Just kidding, only Ellen Ripley is alive, and she has crash landed on a prison planet filled with religious ex-cons or current cons, I guess. And she's like, "Yo, there's an alien here. We should kill it." But she doesn't want to tell anybody outright, so they spin their wheels for a bit and then kill some aliens, and she survived, she knowing that she's been implanted with figuring out that she has been implanted with an alien baby, decides to sacrifice herself for the greater good and not let any more alien movies happen. And then the fourth movie starts.
So really quick, first, I love this is exactly how much time you should be spending on this. The one things that I want to add that will give context to 4 is each movie's got like an untrustworthy android that is a through line through all of these, and then I'm not certain about this, but isn't there a time jump in each movie because she's basically frozen each time and found? Or is Alien and Aliens consecutive? Because I don't know the timeline of this. I don't know what year we're in Alien Resurrection. I know there's a 200-year jump, but I think that's like the third 100-year jump or something.
Yeah, and it depends on what timeline, because of that video game that goes in between Isolation. But the colony that's in Aliens Part 2, it's the colony they went to, or was the same place they went to in the first movie, where they were first, where the alien... and it just got, as time went on, they were just harvesting, capitalizing it. It's also the same colony in the prequel further even back to Prometheus. So it's the same area, same planet on that end. But
the timeline is what I want. Like...
the timeline. But then the timeline gets weird once you really end with Aliens Part 2. It becomes like 3 and 4 or insane long periods of time. Like the fourth one literally begins with, the Wayland Corporation, they're long gone. They're long gone.
We're government contractors now.
So no Blade Runner connection.
Capitalism isn't the enemy anymore. Now we're struggling with government contracts,
which is a secret government contract, by the way.
Right. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to blab this all over the internet. Sorry, everybody. Don't come for me.
It's so far in the future that just technology stops making sense. Instead of like retinal scanners or anything, he just breathes into it.
It doesn't work all the time.
Just heats up a cube of like whiskey or tea or whatever.
I like that one. I
like that this is one of the few movies that just like, when you're that far in the future, it's just like, what if everything's weird?
No, the idea of Winona Ryder using like little breathalyzer samples to try and get through doors is a very charming little moment.
That's a very Jeannot, I think.
Anyway, you were about to go
4.
into 4 and tell us about this fucking movie.
200 years in the future, government scientists have been cloning Ellen Ripley, complete with baby queen alien in her belly, for a while now. We meet the 8th one that has survived C-section, and they've decided to keep her around for why not reasons.
She's becoming an adult. She's growing. She's
At the same time, a group of dodgy space pirates have kidnapped a bunch of cryo-frozen folk and deliver them to this station so that the government scientists can put more aliens in these folks and see what happens there. So they're hanging out in the spaceship, just like catching some R&R, because they say, sure, why not? There's a lot of why this movie happens is sure, why not? And
it is a sure, why not movie.
That is not a criticism. Surprise, surprise, the aliens escape and start murdering folks. Ripley is now part xenomorph, part human, so she has ungodly talent at shooting hoops and playing basketball, and maybe some other things. She's hanging out with the renegade space pirates, some of whom don't seem to trust her for some reason, maybe knows more than they're letting on. That person is like, yeah, you are an alien creature that is spawning aliens, and everyone's making aliens here. And the space pirates are like, what? And then they fight some aliens. They try and get off this spaceship that they now realize has been auto-driven to crash course with Earth and drop off an alien payload. You know, again, sure, why not? They keep going. They make their way around this spaceship with like a bunch of crazy antics, killing aliens, getting killed by aliens, and we discover that Winona Ryder is a synthetic and
potentially untrustworthy android.
That's the middle act twist.
They program into the ship and start like doing things, and they meet a new alien mother that has been birthed, or alien queen that has been birthed from Sigourney Weaver. So it has a womb, unlike the other aliens, and now has given birth to an even freakier alien.
Sure, why not?
A third act alien. Yep.
that kind of looks like Pumpkinhead. It's got like a skull face and
The
fleshy
nose
and-
thing always bugged me ever
Yeah,
since.
it's got a weird like
the nose,
Sunken
Yeah.
eyes, and just like
I was
really looks like
reading-
a puppy
Nice
in its
teeth.
face. It's
like yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I was reading
a
interviews
weird
with
design.
Jean-Pierre Jeunet.
Yeah.
Jean-Pierre Jeunet first saw this thing like right before he started shooting. He was like, we may have made a mistake here. And yeah, arguably, probably. It's one of that design is a little bit of a bummer for the movie. But anyway, they escape. That thing hangs out with them and like has a bonding moment with her before she's got acid blood and bleeds on a hole in the ship that then sucks the organs of this new alien daughter creatures thing out of the space lock, and
sure
they
did.
survive.
Sure did.
End of movie.
No. Earth.
No.
Earth. Will she?
Oh, and then
Yeah.
they're going towards Earth, and they're like, "Wow, it's weird.
Yeah.
I'm a robot who's never been to Earth before." And she's like, "Well, I'm a half alien, half human clone that's also never been to Earth before."
I'm also a
Yes,
stranger
this
here.
wild adventure is just beginning.
Yeah.
Is in a strange land.
Maybe turn directly to camera. Maybe the next Alien movie will be on Earth.
When you talk about Requiem,
So yeah,
I'm
that's
talking
my-
about how they keep promising that there will be an Alien movie on Earth, and when we finally get it, it's Requiem.
Well, and
Well,
Joss Whedon,
AVP was
again,
also on Earth.
we were talking about Joss Whedon is kind of more than not really the creative. He's the instigation for this movie. Like they gave him like many versions, and his big thing was that this was supposed to happen on Earth. The third act of this film was supposed to take place on Earth, and the studio pushed back and said no. Which, I don't know what that really would have changed. It would have been it sounds like it would balloon pretty fast, which is not necessarily something I want from an alien movie. Like I don't know if I need aliens running amok through downtown New York.
Well, it's
I just
interesting
saw A
'cause-
Quiet Place, by the way, and
What's interesting, in that same year, we did get that weird third act in Lost World of T-Rex running amok in San Diego. So that might have been kind of, again, hey, maybe this might be a little too close to what
Yeah.
Spielberg might be cooking up over at Universal kind of thing. Yeah, it's weird. I've heard about that. Yeah, that third act was supposed to be full on like that the super hybrid clone alien running around and them fighting it. And, yeah, it's weird. Also, I think this movie.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was gonna say the supporting cast is great, but it's and we definitely need to talk about Brad Dourif at some point. The crazy scientist that he plays.
Yes.
Is that? But the thing is, the supporting cast is so weird in this movie because either they get killed off so quickly or they stick around forever, and they
Yeah.
it's just a weird thing where it's like, what like. Okay, like so which character I'm attached to or I'm supposed to be attached to? Yeah, it is, and they keep adding on more supporting cast as it goes along. Unlike most movies where everyone just sort of is in a big band as the second act begins, it's like,
Yeah.
oh no, there's more people in this like middle of the second act.
They pick up Tuco Salamanca for a while.
Yes, Raymond Cruz, my boy from Blood In Blood Out. I did not realize he was in this until I watched it. I was like, he is totally underused, by the way. Barely
Yeah.
in it. Yeah.
He does
It's
get
tight,
to have
though.
some fun in it, though.
Tight.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, the cast is great. Winona Ryder, I didn't know was going to be in this. I'm not entirely
Okay.
sure where this is in her fame, but like, she's
This
charming.
is like right before she was getting arrested for shoplifting.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
So,
feel like
yeah.
she disappeared for a little bit, but I think in 1997, Winona Ryder's probably the most famous person in this cast.
And apparently she was the person, she said yes without reading the script,
Yeah.
was how down she was for an alien film,
She didn't
So
know
it's
she was
like
a
when-
robot.
When she gets shot and killed, halfway, 2/3 of the way through the movie, I'm like, I am very shocked. It's not like the early death that a big star will
No.
be brought in and killed off early, which has happened in some
Well,
other space survival movies. Ryan
you know,
Reynolds.
I feel like that moment too was a little cheap in a certain sense. Like her death that lasts all of 10 seconds felt like it took all of 10 seconds to set up too. I would have almost liked a little bit more there, but and
Well, I like it
a
because of
lot
like
of this
just the
feels like
reversal
the
of "give me your
page.
gun." Oh, you
Yeah.
fucking idiot! Shoots him.
Yeah.
There's no like log plan. It's just like
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
You
Yeah.
big dummy, boom. You know, like that's you know what I would say about that is sure, why not?
Yeah. This is such a Whedon-y film at the end of the day, and I think that's both its strength and its failure. Is that there was Jean-Pierre Jeunet doesn't English is not his first language, and I think that kind of shows up in this film.
Yeah.
There are some line deliveries that, like, if actors felt like they were given more reign or the director understood English a little bit better, I think they would have just cleaned up some of the things that people are saying. Specifically, our monkey boy is just given some weird lines and given some weird deliveries. And I love Ron Perlman. He's great in so many things, but
You mean like if the director had like fully understood the intonation of all the Whedon zingers, or if fun fact at the time of this movie, the French little person in the wheelchair who's been in all of Genet's movies, he doesn't speak any fucking English, and he is just saying Whedon lines phonetically. And can I say, let's get that man in a Sorkin film and see what happens.
He's gonna say, "Come walk with me" with his wheelchair, which is a running gag the whole time.
Yeah.
Like he can't feel anything even when like the ooze is coming down until it hits his ear. Like, ah.
Dominic Pinon, by the way.
Dominic Pinon.
Amazing.
My favorite running gag in this film is they scan everyone for weapons at the beginning, and they miss so many weapons. One character has weapons that are just like exoskeletons attached.
Yeah.
They just come out. At one point, someone tells him to drop his gun. He's like, I can't. They're attached
because they're attached to me. Yeah.
Ron Pullman has some future moonshine cooler that also turns into a blunderbuss
shotgun. Yeah.
The wheelchair is like just made up out of guns.
It's a gigantic gun.
It's just a gigantic
gun.
And then I don't know how they didn't catch that Winona Ryder was an android.
Well, they keep talk about very 90s. They keep like referencing her like, oh, she's so cute. Oh yeah. And it's like, oh, so she's essentially a sex robot?
Well, it's almost like, which is my favorite line of the movie, that I don't think that we could open the podcast. I've been trying to figure out what line of the movie, like, we'll start this episode, but I know what'll finish it, and it's just like, what, like, you've never fucked a robot?
It's very much talked about quite a bit.
Probably my favorite Whedon line from his entire filmography. Because
probably true.
Rod Perlman is a man who fucks robots.
It's tough to say on that end. Like Perlman.
I meant the character, but
no, I'm not. No, Perlman's great in almost everything. Like he saved Sons of Anarchy like multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
He is the weakest link probably in this cast.
And I mean he was good in City of Lost Children, where he doesn't really speak much.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think it is a little bit of a, Jean-Pierre Jeunet was directing with a translator for this movie. He didn't speak English confidently enough to not have a translator there. And it makes sense. But he still is like, you were talking about how great this movie looks. The way that he moves the camera and the way that the sets look, and Alien is an incredible looking film. It is so dark and spooky, and the way the xenomorph is used so sparingly and terrifyingly, you just see like reflections of glistening of ooze. And then Aliens is broadly loved, but I think it kind of doesn't look that good. It's super bright so much of the time. There's so much refraction happening in the lens that it like kind of feels glossed out and just kind of a white and blue, not mess. Like it's
very
a fun
J.J.
film.
Abrams.
It's just a very bright, and you feel like the miniatures look like miniatures in that movie in a certain sense, in a charming manner, but like doesn't super sell.
In a manner that always works better for you than it does for me.
Well, no, I mean, I don't particularly like the way Aliens looks.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying you like miniatures in general more than I do.
Sure, yes.
You're like, look at that cute model that's exploding. And I'm like, it's a model that's exploding for all the Godzilla movies we watch.
It is the one thing that separates it, like with Aliens, that look is, it is the brightest looking Alien movie until Prometheus.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, but yeah, they 1, 3, and 4 tend to keep the darkness pretty good.
And yeah, and 3 like returns to this interesting, it takes on its own space where it's like this, there's no color in this world. All of a sudden everyone kind of looks like ghosts.
Very washed out.
And-
Yeah.
Yeah, but like it's
Everyone's shaved head.
interesting. Yeah,
Makes sense.
it
They're in. I
feels-
mean, they're in a prison.
Yeah,
I'm gonna hunt down the fly in my room.
the special effects look kind of terrible in 3. I don't know what it is about that time and place, but like the compositing looks
Yeah,
not
there's
great.
some. Yes, yeah. I
And
think
then-
that's because they just rushed it. I think they really
Yeah.
rushed the film out.
Yeah, I think that was just tight from start of production to release. There's just like not much margin.
And Alien 4 is just coming around at a time where it's built on the back of Joe's apartment. It has the same CGI team.
I love me some Joe's apartment. But thank you for referencing.
Joe's apartment is great.
Never seen it.
Oh, it's I mean, we'll have to cover it on the podcast.
Okay.
70-minute
It's deeply
charmer.
charming.
70 minutes.
MTV's first film. Amazing.
That's the cockroach movie, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Singing, dancing cockroaches.
That's
which
whoa.
that technology is how you get Alien Resurrection, which looks great. It's a ton of miniature work that looks amazing from the team that did City of Lost Children.
Mhm.
And the way, like, when they first see that ship dock, I'm just like, holy shit, that is so clean. It looks so good. And then you have CGI happening anytime that you're seeing a full-bodied xenomorph, and it's at a time when that actually looks pretty good. The underwater stuff is the first stuff that they shot on this.
That looks
And
great.
Yeah,
it looks pretty great.
Yeah.
that's the big set piece that really sets this movie off. I think if you ask anyone,
Yeah.
underwater.
And also, if we're talking about this movie being out of its goddamn mind, like setting out on a spaceship but still managing to have an underwater sequence where the aliens, we haven't talked about like my favorite and weirdest thing about this movie, which is that the aliens are just setting little Home Alone traps everywhere.
Oh yeah, that's
Like
how they
the
escape.
aliens are smart. They escape by like there's 3 of them in a room, and they
yeah.
gut one of them, and the acid bleeds through, and then they're just gone, and they're doing things. A guy goes in to investigate, and an alien literally hits the button that like enacts all the freezing. That is how they control him. Just like, don't know how we got here, but sure, why not? The rest of the movie, they're just like grabbing him by the ankles and like tripping him, and just coming out from behind things, and I don't know.
We're just
like,
getting a big motherfucking gun.
literally-
and blast.
I never would have thought an alien would have just tried to drown someone when they're so designed to just, you know, do the little mouth spikes or just bite them or bleed on them or anything. It's just like, why would you drown someone? That's the least efficient way that the alien could kill someone underwater.
And I mean, I think that's part of when we talk about this series in general. The first Alien movie works so well because the alien doesn't feel necessarily smart. It's just extremely capable. And as we go on in the second movie, they start to get smarter. They get easier to kill, but like also there's just a shit ton of them, so it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. And then
It's
by
an
the
inverse
third,
thing. The more they
Yeah.
are, the less HP
scary
they
they are.
have. Yeah.
yeah, and then the third movie is another weird one because from the get-go, Ripley has already an alien in her.
Mhm.
And so she is not going to be hurt by the aliens, which is a weird, like, she's invincible to the aliens, basically. She's a ticking time bomb, but she is not in danger.
They're not going to kill a host. That'd be like
Well,
killing their
There's
own
only
kid.
one alien in 3. There's only one other alien. There's not. It goes back to the first one.
Mhm.
There's
And it's a
no,
dog
like-
alien.
A dog
Uh,
is.
There is a dog
Which,
alien, yeah.
which is what version you see. Could be a dog. Could also be a cow. Yeah, that's the whole
Whoa.
thing.
Why would
the
there be a
director-
cow out there?
So the director's cut, it wasn't a dog. It was like some weird cattle thing that it births out of, and it's a whole thing. But yeah, you can get into the DVDs or Blu-rays on it.
Is that a real director's cut, or is that just like a director's cut name?
Producer's cut, I think they
Sure.
call it.
Yeah.
Fair
This
enough.
one also, I didn't watch it, but Alien Resurrection has like a special edition that's like 13 minutes longer or something.
Yeah, it has a director's cut that is Jean-Pierre Jeunet is like, yeah, I mean, it's not my cut, but do whatever. I don't care.
More underwater fighting, please. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't mind having like multiple cuts of the film, but like calling something a director's cut that doesn't have the
It
director's
should be the
involvement
director's
should
cut
be
if it is a director's
fucking
cut.
crime.
Yeah, it is very frustrating.
That's just
that
a
the fact that you
producer's
have
cut.
to.
That's what I assume when something's called a special edition. It's just like, oh, this was studio and producer. Otherwise, it would say director's cut if the director did it.
Yeah, they should be clear when it's a money grab. I feel like I agree.
I mean, that's what Ridley Scott started the whole thing on, was he needed money for 1492, so he just said director's cut to Blade Runner, and then didn't go, and then it wasn't really actually his director's cut, and then he eventually went back into the final cut, which is
we do not have time to go through the 30 versions of Blade Runner.
No. Well, but they are canon to the Wayland Corporation, but yet very
Interesting. I forgot about that.
I wonder if that'll come up in the TV show at all. What if it's secretly just a Blade Runner show?
Oh, it is I think it is a Blade Runner show. There's a full-on Blade Runner Michelle Yeoh.
Oh, that's right. That's also a thing. No, I'm talking about the Noah Hawley, like Wayland Yutani show that I think is now like called Alien or something.
Alien, the TV show.
Alien,
presented by
series.
FX.
Yeah, Timothy Oliphant said it. Like, I'm psyched.
If you get more Guy Pearce, I'm happy. I'm happy.
One thing. So this movie is pretty controversially thought about. I think it came out sort of controversially. Did not so great in the U.S. It's been really entertaining for me to read the 25-year retrospective interviewed Jean-Pierre Jeunet about it. And he talked about kind of in a very no one seems to feel like it was their film. Joss Whedon basically disowns it. Jean-Pierre Jeunet disowns it. The directors say they never wanted it to happen. It's very funny how no one will take credit for this film that I still find pretty charming. But
it's a great Alien fanfic movie.
Yeah,
that's what
so bits and pieces of I just want to read a couple quotes if that's all right. So this is Joss Whedon talking about it. It was mostly a matter of them doing everything wrong. They said the lines, mostly, but they said them all wrong, and they cast it wrong, and they designed it wrong, and they scored it wrong.
They did not cast
everything
it wrong.
They did everything wrong that they could possibly do. It wasn't that they changed the script; it's just they executed it in a version that was almost unwatchable. And Jeunet responds with, "I know Joss Whedon said some bad things about me. I don't care. I know if Joss Whedon had made the film himself, it would probably have been very successful. He's very good at making films for American nerds. Something for morons, because he's very good at making Marvel films. I hate this kind of movie. It's just silly. It's just stupid. So too bad for Joss Whedon." And I love the pettiness.
But that's very similar to what he said the Buffy movie. I mean, it was like, hey, it's exactly it's my script, but it wasn't XYZ in this way.
And I mean, I love Buffy the show. I know Joss Whedon's got his own shitstorm of being a shitty dude.
You live yourself long enough to see yourself as the villain. It's that very much.
Sure. I mean, you don't have to be a shitty dude.
He was a hero for a long time.
Yeah. And I mean, he does a lot of stuff very well that I think almost happens in this movie. I do think that the problem was at the script, and maybe Joss Whedon's better at saving things on.
well, the other thing too is that he wrote another script for this was about Newt. It was going to be about Newt being
that was the original concept. Yeah. Which doesn't feel like that big of a change. I know that he claims that was the hardest thing for him to solve is why would Ripley come back? And it's it's fine. She's a clone. We got it. That works.
It's one of the best scenes of that whole movie is when they go to door 7.
Yeah.
And I think that's the scene that I know clearly Sigourney Weaver's invested in, especially when she's that
definitely
half weird, contraption, and it's clearly Sigourney Weaver in full on, prosthetics in that sequence.
Yeah.
It's pretty phenomenal.
Torches it. And then Ron Perlman has one of his better lines, which is seems like a waste of ammo for me. But yeah, no, Sigourney Weaver was invested in that scene and also extremely proud of the basketball moment, which I don't know if we've talked about yet.
Yeah.
No.
She made
kind of the most famous thing to come out of this movie. Yeah.
Not dribbling it between Ron Perlman's balls and then hitting him with it.
Yeah, that was what I was aware of. There's one of a great series of just sex basketball. I don't know if you've seen Catwoman, but it's also got a great sex basketball scene.
I love me some Catwoman.
Very flirty. There's a reason that the WNBA is at the top right now because it mixes romance on and off the court. and
Hey,
drama.
it's all about love and basketball, folks. Come on.
Okay. No, that entire scene is I keep saying this, but like out of its goddamn mind. I just love
Well,
that
the
it
fact-
just comes
yeah.
across someone basically like with the brain of a child just playing basketball, and Ron Perlman's like, I'm gonna try to fuck her in front of everyone. Just
And
horny
then
space sex criminal Ron Perlman.
Monkey Man.
Monkey Man.
And then his homie, like, after she dribbles a basketball into his nuts and then elbow checks him to the ground, comes at her with a fucking bunch of weights and actually does hit her in the face.
He's got two modes.
That is a wild escalation.
Yeah.
I don't like wild escalation.
It goes to 0 to 11 very fast.
Not
Yeah.
gonna fuck my friend. I'm gonna hit you in the face with a dumbbell.
Like, Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Tires.
you know, getting back to pop culture a little bit, you know, basketball was quite popular. We had the years of Jordan, the dynasty, the
Sure.
Bulls dynasty.
Yep.
And you know, Dolly the
90s,
sheep
yeah.
was being cloned. So why not put together a basketball Dolly?
Yeah. The two biggest things of 1996 when this is filming, Dolly the Sheep and Michael Jordan.
And well, you know what's funny is there's a little moment in Aliens, because this basketball scene very much looks like a commercial for like
Sure.
you know, gotta get
Yeah.
my McDonald's, you know, the new McDonald's space sandwich or whatever like that. What you call it is that scene in Aliens when she gets on the with the big crane. I know people are like, oh, what's that the contraption? The shoes, her Reeboks are clearly placed
Yeah.
to be like that, and I feel like this is very similar to like, oh, this is our little like subversive, like we're making a commercial here. Don't you get it? You know, go buy yourself a pair of Nikes and McDonald's, you know, afterwards, kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's a nice tone setter. It's like, hey guys, we're here to have fun. Is the way I
And
read
that's
it
what
too.
Covenant does really fucking well for a series that does not know if it's trying to be a haunted house movie in outer space or a rah-rah America Rambo film.
Yeah, or a corporate satire.
I mean, talk about Prometheus. I think Prometheus has some beautiful moments, but oh my God, like, that movie is like voided of any humor whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like,
I
Yeah.
need to revisit
Yeah.
those ones. I don't remember them quite as well.
Prometheus has like, not to be reductive about it, it's just got like more. It's a very Damon Lindelof film where it is more interested in asking questions than it is providing any answers or like tying the
Sure.
questions together.
Mhm.
And then Alien Covenant's like a good Alien movie, but it's a terrible sequel to Prometheus.
yeah. Well,
Which is
but I
kind of
think
how I would describe this movie. Like, I think this is a good movie. I think it's a bad Alien movie.
Yeah, I mean, and I think at the end of the day, like to quote from Jean Pagenet once again, he says, "For me, the only interesting Alien was the first one. It's a fucking masterpiece.
Mhm.
We don't really see the alien, and like aliens, like we talked about, Big Sunny. All of a sudden, aliens are everywhere, and we can see them in whole. And the way they move, like everyone really loves the alien queen in Aliens. Like that is a cinematic moment when she's fighting with the power suit, like we talked about. The alien looks a little goofy when we get to see it moving with its like little scrawny limbs. That it doesn't feel like weight works the right way. It's like a little it makes like the T-Rex goofiness of like, you know, it's
got a
it
great
can't
tail.
hug it.
They got a great tail,
Yeah.
which
And
I suppose
the
the
tail
Jeeps
looks
would sell
great in
that.
4 too. You know, that's one thing about it swimming, like that works. But once you are able to see the full alien, there's really no going back to the shadows. And I think that the series as a whole, you can't undo what Aliens did, and it kind of is the recipe for disaster for the rest of the films.
Yeah, you can't unfuck that robot, as they say.
I think this is the mantra. You can't fuck that robot.
Well, the joy of this film is that it is like, where do you go from Alien 3? And this French guy comes up with this idea of just like, what if I put a bunch of weird little freaks in it? What if you see the scientist at the beginning and he's getting sexual gratification from surgery? What if there's literally a weird little freak in a wheelchair? What if there's a monkey man trying to fuck everything? What if the aliens get progressively more and more weird little freaks?
Well, and Brad Dourif is loving all of it at the very
Yeah.
end. Even he's just like, oh yes, and then he gets his head ripped.
Sure does.
Oh man,
There's some good head ripping in these movies. There's like aliens are killing people in ways I've never seen in the franchise. We haven't talked about the weirdest. The only thing I like texted Gavin while I was watching this was like a guy just got xenomorphed in the back of the skull, went cross-eyed, did like a fucking like Chaplin gag and like pulled a little bit of his brain out before he fell. I was just like, what a weird tonal choice.
I'm going to return to the well of, again, quoting Janae just because I find him very charming. Specifically about, this is his only American production. And he seems incredibly unsure of everything he's doing. In a sense, he is handed a script that he's not really able to deviate from too much. Like I said, this feels very Whedon-y. But that moment that you're talking about with, how do you pronounce his name? Dan Hedaya, who I love in this movie. I really enjoy his performance. He is very silly.
Cher's dad from Clueless.
Yeah, he's great. He's a wonderful character actor who Janae just has these amazing character actors all over the place. But when he's killed, he survives long enough to reach into the back of his brain and pull out bits of it and go, uh-oh, before falling to the ground. And Janae is continuously quoted when looking at parts of this movie as saying, I don't know, maybe this is too much.
Might I add, right before that, he throws a grenade into one of the holes, or one of the space.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
And then, but it's a grenade that's not timed.
No.
He literally has a detonator.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was just like. Feels like it's out of range at that point, but I don't know how grenade technology works in
that shot with the grenade rolling in
3,480.
Yeah.
Well, doesn't those grenades are in 2, right? I think they're in Aliens.
Maybe. I mean, this has been some time since those movies have happened in this timeline.
An indefinite amount of time.
It's just a secret space operation, military operation here. Yeah. Dan Hedaya, man. We might also mention great villain Adam's Family, and also Commando with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
How have we not done Commando yet?
Oh,
Hey, there's still time.
yeah, Bill Paxton. Bill Paxton's in that one too.
Wow. Bill Duke. All the Bills. Both Bills.
All right. So since the jury has concluded on Aliens, maybe Alien 3, should we shut the door on Alien 4?
Have we concluded on those? Because like,
with less and less certainty as the series goes on.
Yeah.
But we're here to judge one movie.
Aliens. Well, I think there's something interesting to talk about because, like, Gavin, I'll spend 3 or 4 minutes on this if you're cool with it. Neither of us like Aliens that much. Like,
Sure.
I don't think it's a bad movie, but like, it is just like, even like Benji's got some raised eyebrows right now.
Well, to me, like I said, it's the movie that sends this what probably shouldn't be a series off the rails into a series.
Yeah.
And I'm not mad about anything we've gotten. It's nothing like, I would say arguably stronger than like the Jurassic Park series in terms of sequels, which is also very weak. And,
yeah, I would 100% agree.
Yeah. It's coming at a time when I was looking at people trying to justify sequels in general, and it's like, what are they pointing to, and especially in sci-fi, and they're like Star Wars, which again I disagree with, but that's again just to cast doubt. The bar is not set the highest by A New Hope, so whatever.
Yeah.
Alien sets the bar so high that there wasn't really a place to go with it for a sequel, and Aliens does something with it. It manages to be popcorn fodder and fun. James Cameron's an extremely skilled
changed the genre in a sequel.
Yeah.
Like, that's not something that had been done that much. It's still not done that much. Personally, I just think if you're going to make more Alien movies, just make more Alien movies. It's just like, no, there is a monster on a spaceship or like a contained planet or something. But like, yeah, I mean, that's a formula that works, and like, you can have so many different, even if you don't have like a different genre or plot take on it, like there's so many different ways that you can do that with just direction and characters, and like, you can make a different movie that's still kind of the same movie.
What we think about this. Technically, Blade Runner is the same world, so is what you continue on. Alien and Blade Runner made by the same guy.
Technically, Predator, the same world.
And then you continue on with that. But I mean, it's
But
Well,
they're
Predators,
because
yeah.
they're very different timelines. Like it's really hard to integrate any of them.
But I think in that sense, that cosmic, like, very much ethereal, what is, I mean, the question of human and bigger things and Geiger, which we haven't talked
Yeah.
about H.R. Geiger stuff, which,
Who was not invited back for this, or he was
But-
invited and the studio said no.
but he said he
That
liked it.
explains the design at the end.
Yeah.
He did say that the 4 out of all the sequels was his favorite.
Interesting. I wonder if it's because he didn't have to be there.
I don't think he worked on 2 at all, did he? Did he?
I know he was on 3 and he was on
Yeah.
1.
Yeah.
Um,
That'd be weird because I think 2 definitely does not have a Geiger next at all.
yeah.
I mean,
I wonder if, yeah.
I maybe because I'm like vibing off of you guys on this thing. 'Cause I mean, Aliens is something very core in my brain.
Is to a lot of people.
I mean, is it a perfect movie? No, but I
No.
think in a
It
lot of
is
ways,
way too long. I get so bored. There's big chunks of that movie I don't remember. Also, just like this is a very unpopular opinion, but like just the way that James Cameron shoots most of his movies is so kind of like sterile. That's not
Mhm.
really the right word. It's just like there's nothing that interesting or worth talking about from a cinematography perspective. That's how I feel about Titanic, Avatar. It's big
Abyss?
set pieces shot well. Yeah, but I mean, the only word I could say is shot well rather than like when you've got like Jean-Pierre Jeunet just like doing weird point of views and
doesn't-
like tilting.
Yeah.
I guess this series has always had like a lot of point of view stuff, but most of the other movies is like shot like a lot more just formally.
I think the visual flair of every other director in this first 4 series is a little stronger, including Fincher. Fincher like does know how to point a camera.
Oh, of course.
And how
You
to
you
light
move the
stage.
camera when the characters move. It's simple.
Yeah. No, and I mean, again, I do think that Aliens specifically, our problem with it, you and I, Sage, is that it follows Alien, and that is just an unfair task. It is a very solid movie for what it is, but it still is following Alien, and that is just unfair.
That's true. Although, if this movie had followed Alien, I don't think I would have liked it. If I was actually alive at this time and watching them in theaters, I think it would have pissed me off. But like with like 40 years removed, like I'm fucking all down. I like it when franchise sequels are out of their goddamn mind because you can either be good or out of your goddamn mind. There's no middle ground.
Yeah. I mean, I would argue
I'm a fan
they
of the go
are
for broke.
all kind of out of their mind, but yeah,
Fair
The
enough.
go for broke is the best way to go for any
for
sequel.
sure.
It's,
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you know what? You want more of this? And let's try not to say, hey, you know what? We need 3 more after this. Like, just give me all that. Yeah.
I will also say, like, for a horror, compared to other horror franchises, Alien's got an incredible batting ratio.
Yeah.
Like, we were comparing it to Jurassic Park. Compare it to the other horror franchise going on right now. Halloween also has a movie called Resurrection. I have seen it. I don't remember what happens in it.
A lot of webcamming. In that
Oh,
one.
wow.
Yeah.
Bold choice.
And Buster Rhymes beating up on Michael.
Yeah. Brad Dourif's own famous series goes progressively more and more out of its goddamn mind. They're not all good. The ones that like really go for it are good.
I admire
We're
that
talking about
series
Chucky.
a lot. Yeah, the Child's Play Chucky series.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually like where that evolves into. Where really you had one singular voice though.
Yeah.
Unlike
No,
most
it-
franchises, you don't get a singular voice.
Works as a whole a lot better than it works as like individual episodes.
Yeah.
And I still need to check out that show, which is like an actual continuation. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does. It continues the cult of Chucky. Yeah, I mean it's interesting. That I think is one of the main reasons I think we have issues with Alien is that what if Ridley Scott did get a sequel, an official sequel? Would it
Yeah.
continue that, the haunted house?
Mhm.
It's a haunted house movie with, a vermin running around. It's a rat. And then, when we got the sequel from Cameron, it's like, what if the whole house is just filled with rats? Which is frightening on its own, but not as that movie presents itself.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But I think,
And then Alien 3 is what if we let Fox make this movie?
well, I think it also goes back to the Geiger thing. I think is what he liked 4 is that there is a weird sexual space grossness that is in 4, that's in 1, that are not in the other 2 as much prevalently.
Yeah.
I think that's why he was like, "Oh yeah, actually, I like that one." So
in terms of one of Jean-Pierre Geunet's being unsure about something that he's doing on this set, he made sure that the newborn alien at the end has both male and female human genitalia.
interesting.
That they shot. They made that prosthetic creature has genitalia. A bunch of them.
Sure, why not?
And that was one where he was
broke.
like, maybe this one is a little too much. Maybe this is a little too French, and they removed them in post.
Yeah.
Look, I'm going to be honest. I thought Sigourney Weaver was going to fuck that alien at the end.
Yeah.
I thought this is where it was going.
Yeah, that's on purpose. Yeah, they definitely thought about it. That is,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was the 90s. They could still think about it.
It was the 90s.
It was the 90s. One thing I
So
wanted
before, go ahead.
was that there's this running gag also in this movie where it talks about someone blowing a hole in the hull and like blowing out, and then literally that's how they kill the alien.
Yeah.
Some
clever foreshadowing.
It just keeps rotating, like, oh, that's why we don't want any of you guys having guns, so we just blow a hole in the hole,
Genuinely one of the most upsetting and revolting deaths I've seen on screen. Like, there's very little you could do to the bad guy of a series that will make me feel bad for him.
Yeah, well, and that's the reason
guts.
the newborn's got like almost human features, so you get to see the pain and discomfort, rather than it just being a bug shot out into space. They wanted to make you feel something.
Yeah, it's very what's the term, like personified. It's yeah.
Just wish it looked better. That's all.
Well,
yes, I would like a better version. I understand what they're
act.
going for, but yeah,
third act, there's a hard right in that third act. You're just like,
this series is so easy to talk about, like what could have been, especially because so many people have been like approached to do versions of it. And before we go whole hog into that world, I do think we should spin this one up and talk about whether this is still good, better as a memory, or should we roast it in fire and then crack a little hole in the spaceship and let it suck its flaming organs out into the coolness of space? You got one on deck, Sage? You want to
no.
that?
That was a better version of what I was going to stumble through.
So, again, we talked to death already about the first 3 movies and how we feel about them, their strengths. I think the audience, you can figure that out. But how do we feel about Alien Resurrection? Anybody want to go first?
Sure. I'll go first. I think this is... I said it earlier, like, this is kind of a bad Alien movie, but it's a pretty great, fun time out of its own right. I kind of feel similar to how I do about, like, Jason X. I will say this is objectively a better movie than Jason X, but everything in Jason X works for me. Just like, fuck it, why not have him be in space? Still find a way on a spaceship to have Jason kill people who are camping.
Yeah. That was by far the best part of that movie, but continue.
Yeah, no, it's all delightful. Shattering people with liquid nitrogen. It is very much that, except obviously you can't take Alien and be like, but what if space? What if an alien was in space? It's like, yeah, that's the movie. So with that caveat aside, I think my take is this is my second favorite Alien movie. I expected so little from this. I knew it had an interesting director behind it, but I thought his style would be neutered. And just the fact that they made him make, again, a weird little freak xenomorph movie full of little Home Alone traps and Zippy Whedon dialogue, and like no one knows what's going on. It's out of his goddamn mind. Like, that's all I can ask from a franchise if it's already going to have if it has 8 movies and it make one of them balls to the wall insane. That is what I'm going to gravitate towards. I do want to give, like, I've seen Prometheus a few times. I need to rewatch Alien Covenant. And I've watched Alien, 20, 30 times. That's a masterpiece. This is also there, and I think it rocks. I think it's still good.
Wow. Out the gate, still good. I was kind of waiting to see what you would say, and I was going to either give it a still good or a better as a memory based on what you said. to either neuter or bring up the score.
Yeah, to spite me.
Yeah, I'm gonna say better as a memory. I think that there's a lot going on that I really like. I don't think I had seen this movie before, and I think there's so many good ideas, and there is so much craft and fun stuff going on. The performances are odd. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, and I do think it is just a disconnect between, honestly, Whedon and Genet. And I think if they'd found a way to work together on this and had time in pre-production to figure out and get on the same page with what the movie should be, and it had a little bit more Genet in the structure of it and a little bit more Whedon in the direction of it, this would have been a great film. There is so much to like, and I think it just needed more pre-production before they got on set and started making this movie happen. Because yes, it's wacky, it's fun, it's a departure in some senses, but it also feels like a very natural continuation of what Aliens built, more so than even what Alien built. And I think it is a step in what could have been the right direction for that series, because it almost feels like this is the Aliens series, not necessarily the Alien series. And I think for that, it is a strong entry, but it still kind of suffers from being connected to one of the greatest science fiction horror films ever made. And thus, having to try and hold a candle to it is a dangerous game that I don't know if we've had a strong successor to yet. That's how I feel about it. Better as a memory.
Are you not worried that if you make this movie a little bit better, it'll get worse? Like, I think you have to bridge a gap so much. Like, yes, if they actually make a very strong, cohesive movie, there's probably a good version. But any version of this movie that's just like a little bit better is actually a little bit worse.
I think you've got, I hear what you're saying. I think that there is still, like, you could move up a half star from where we're at with this movie on a Letterboxd review, and it would be stronger. But I absolutely hear what you're saying, and I do mostly agree. Yeah, Benji, what you got?
I mean, I'm just gonna say that it is still good. For me, just to be like, but I think there's also better as a memory. I mean, as a kid in the '90s, when this movie was getting made or was about to, I think I told you a little about this on a one-off when we were talking about getting this podcast. Is my mom's boyfriend, who she was on and off with for years. He was a huge Blade Runner fan, like the biggest Blade Runner fan. He was one who showed me Blade Runner. He loved the Alien franchise. He always talked about the night that he saw Alien in theaters and like all his friends running out of the room and like how frightening. I mean, like imagine being that first audience in 1979 for Alien and how people like it was a fucking riot. And then he also loves Aliens. He's like, hey, that was just like just action, solid, an amazing piece. And he's like, and three is fucking garbage. He always said 3 is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. I don't know what they were doing and stuff like that. And then he was reading he had this big book on the making of Blade Runner, but he was always like, he was the first person who had IMDb in the 90s. And he was always talking about like, oh yeah, Alien 4 is going to happen. And it's going to be like, they're going to totally erase the third story. They're like, they're going to bring back the people that we liked in the second one, all these things that kept changing. So that memory of that, and especially the poster, when it dropped, I mean, again, 1997, Fifth Element, Jurassic World Park, Lost World, Starship Troopers, and this all came out in the same year. So going to the theaters or seeing the posters, seeing the trailers, the memories of that is fucking amazing on the nostalgia factor. But I think it's still good. I think in some ways, yeah, like it just depends. It's like the cubed whiskey. What do you want from an Alien? Do you want a little scotch? You want a little tequila? You want something? Each of these 4 movies, and then the rest, I've seen Prometheus a few times. I mean, I think it's a beautiful looking movie. You want to talk about the dumbest decisions characters ever make?
Yep.
Prometheus. I mean, the one thing this movie does, it keeps adding on the supporting cast.
Yeah.
But the supporting cast is still fun. They're not given enough where they have to make decisions. It's just like, hey, this is happening now, or hey, this alien's been inside me this whole time. It's gonna come out at some point and in the most awesome way possible. I mean,
we didn't mention that yet, but that is so good.
That to me is
it
the
gives
climax of the movie.
powers.
Just like the and, it's like, oh, so good
when he runs up and just like gives him a bear hug and births an alien chest burster right through that man's skull.
But we go from the mouth, from already his insanity, from the mouth,
that's
through
right,
there, and then through the head. It's like,
yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
What if we take the camera and put it down the throat during the birthing sequence?
Yeah. No.
Out of its goddamn mind.
I think to me, then that's it's still good, and just for stuff like that. Again, yeah, poor Michael Wincott, one of my favorite character actors of all time.
Yeah.
Gets kind of like, that's the only disappointment. Like I have to remind myself, like, he dies pretty quickly in this movie. I wish he got kept around a little longer than say some other characters.
I wish I had Michael Wincott just in my life more. Like I've really only seen like 4 or 5 things with him. He of course like has like a voice career, because listen to him, but like you should hear his voice in everything. Yeah.
Oh,
exactly. Like he's one of the reasons The Crow works so well.
I mean, Nope. I mean, that was genius casting.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, he's great in that.
He's also, when I used to live in LA full time years ago, he used to be a frequenter at a theater, so he was alive and well, running around, just looking great at like 50 something.
Yeah.
Like in this movie 25 years ago. So,
he should have at least gotten like a Thomas Jane level career. They very much fit the same type. He's just got even better voice.
He's a little more of a psychopath. I mean, I love me some Metro. I know a lot of people hate that movie, but he's a great psychopath in that. Tom Jane's more like he could be crazy if halfway through the movie, kind of thing like that.
So we got 2 still goods and 1 spiteful better as a memory. Was that right?
Well, I mean, I was also going to mention that, like you, I think this might be my second favorite of the series so far. So, far, even though I had the most tepid response compared to you two to this film, it's very fun. I find it very charming.
I just hope Romulus does more into this direction. That's all I hope at the end. That you can't recreate one.
I'm lukewarm on the trailers that we're getting so far, to be honest, and I'm not a huge fan of his Evil Dead, but we'll see. I'm open to it.
He does gore really well, which I also wanted to mention. This one is by far the goriest of all movies.
I don't know how much we've specifically said it, but the aliens look great in this movie, especially the prosthetics, like the goopiest, the shiniest versions of the aliens we've seen since the first one, I'd argue. I think it looks really good, the way they capture the alien. But that being said, with all the what could have been with this series, Sage, I know that you've been approached with some sort of business proposition, possibly for.
Yeah, I'm glad you bring all this up. What if there was another Alien movie coming out?
That wasn't the Fede Alvarez version?
Yeah, so they've already asked me to pen the sequel, and I'm like pretty fucking out of ideas at this point in the Alien franchise, so I'm gonna like open it up to a writer's room, and we're gonna smash it out right now. That's right, kids, it is reboot time. Now I put the bumper in right here.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, we somehow they really fucked up the Disney Fox merger, and I ended up with the rights.
Which is wild. I can't believe we managed that. Yeah.
Look, 300-page contracts. There's going to be loopholes. There's going to be mixed things. They're just so focused on Star Wars and Pixar, they forgot about Alien. Like the Alien Romulus was already in the works, but then the franchise was just up for grabs.
Wow.
So, boys, what do you want to see? What is kind of your perfect Alien movie? Give me some pitches.
So I looked a tiny bit into the ones that we didn't get. I know like Neil Blomkamp is the kind of most famous unmade version of this. And it seems like when I look around the internet, it's just a bunch of people kind of projecting what they want onto what he was going to do. I would argue the specifics that I've seen are actually, it seems just as messy as every other Alien sequel in a certain sense. I would argue the thing that I feel like we're kind of promised by the first movie and by the series, and I think it in some versions is like just a kind of bare bones sequel idea, but I do think it's what I want most, and I could see this happening as a series or a movie. I think it would work better as a movie. But what I want to see is them kind of like in this movie being able to get the alien the way that they want it. Instead of a government agency, fuck that, let's go with Weyland-Yutani. Let's have a boardroom kind of focused version of this movie where they have had at least a half generation to near whatever they want to describe as perfecting the alien. Also, sorry, as an aside, they don't use the word xenomorph in Alien Resurrection. They call it an alien a bunch of times. Really bothers me. Maybe that's what's keeping it from being still good.
All aliens,
you should
please
never
report
should
Sector
never
One.
should never hear the word alien in this series. It should always
That's
be referred
true,
to as a xenomorph or whatever. I know they've gotten a bunch of different names for it based on what it is being mixed with, which I also would argue is not the strongest form of storytelling. I don't think that's the most interesting thing. I love just the classic alien design. Give us the classic alien design. Give us a boardroom dealing with what's going to be their public launch, the same way that like Jurassic Park is on the verge of being open to the public. Give us that first version of like the military arms buyers are coming to see what we have. And as we're getting ready to roll out the red carpet on what we've created that is the perfect killing machine, it of course does what it does best and starts killing us. And I want to see the company fall apart to just one alien. We don't need more aliens, like maybe 2, but like no more than 5 at the most. No more than 3 even.
I think you
Give
make
us one
Alien
alien is enough
5
to-
and have 5 aliens in it.
But yeah, give us the perfect killing machine is fine. We can't kill it. Bullets don't work. I'm tired of all these bullets and flames working. The only way to get rid of an alien is to shoot it into space. And that's the way that it should be. And that is what we get, is like a capitalist, themed capitalism brings down the machine from the inside because the perfect product is a killing machine that kills everything. So that's what I want. Give it the janitor's the hero. Fuck it. Like,
Who's also the robot. Who's the robot.
Yeah.
Gotta get that robot in there somewhere. Yeah.
Sorry, that was a lot of my voice.
No. This is great because I
Good
wanted
voice.
to add is that there's that very classic, moment in every alien movie where someone shoots it and then the acid like spills back.
Yeah,
yeah.
Which we'll definitely probably see in this new one.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah. Ford does a pretty good job with that, with the Doom
Yes.
fences, I think. And
When it falls on like a wheelchair boy and he can't feel anything
Dominic?
from the waist down, and then it goes on his ear and he's like, fuck, what? This is terrible.
My shotgun wheelchair.
With the shotgun wheelchair. That's what I hope they have in Romulus, a shotgun wheelchair.
Well, speaking of shotguns, I'm going to go the Grindhouse route and say, why don't we just give Michael Biehn everything he ever wanted, and just he is back as his character, but he's directing, writing, and starring in the movie, and it's a full-on just Grindhouse, low budget. Have you ever seen Galaxy of Terror, which is kind of almost like a precipice?
No, but I know
for
of it,
aliens.
That's James Cameron worked on that, I believe. Right?
Yeah, he was the second director. He did all the design. It literally has moments where you're like, wait, that's an alien, like kind of moment. But yeah, just give him. It's not Hicks. What is his name in Aliens? Anyways,
I think it is Hicks, isn't it?
It is. I believe that's Paxton's character.
No, I think. I mean, either way,
Yeah. So I mean, and then also the Blomkamp thing kind of mentions that he's back if he got the chance.
Right.
But,
yeah, the idea Alien 3 killing off everyone that they just worked so hard to save was a choice.
It's just one of those like it's just the biggest like like this, fuck you, kind of thing. But yeah, just have it be where they all make it back to Weyland-Yutani and they're like, they're all under quarantine, but he's the one that's essentially like, I gotta go back out there, like give me all you got, and he's essentially like back fighting the xenomorphs, kind of thing. I think Michael Biehn would be very happy to be back on that end. But you can also do it 3 different ways too, which is I know the game does is, and I wonder about this new one too, is who this Callie Sprawl's character is, if it's something related to Ripley at all or anything like that. You could do like Ripley's kid between all that, a Newt. Like if you want to do the IP thing, you want to do Acolyte and all that stuff. You could do a Newt, movie or series on that, where she becomes the deadliest person to ever fight the xenomorphs on that end. But I want to keep my Grindhouse life alive, and I'd love to see Michael Biehn coming back. And of course, like he's got like he's drinking beers, and then there's like all of a sudden like, oh yeah, there's like babes in space, and just like, why is Michael Biehn? It's just because he's Michael Biehn, and We love him for it. R.I.P. Johnny Ringo. So on that end. So,
All
but
right.
that's my pitch.
Xenoraptors. Jurassic World crossover. Facehuggers hit blue. I'm fucking with you. That sounds well.
This sounds like Jurassic
That sounds
Park
like a waste
4.
of resources. It's not like it's a movie I wouldn't see. I've already said that I don't want them to make that. I want them to make something different, but like I'd fucking see it. Like, but I'd watch that as like an animated movie or something. Oh god, that'd be fucking great. No, just absolutely animated Alien Jurassic Park crossover.
There's a toy line, Sage, Gavin,
Sure.
that existed that was supposed to be an animated series like a Ghostbusters. They never released. I think there's a pilot that's floating out there somewhere, but it was a toy line that was based off an animated series on Alien.
For Alien?
For Alien, yeah, in the late 80s.
That checks out. That makes sense.
I mean, realistically, I want them to keep making just simple. There's an alien on a spaceship. Oh shit! What do we do? What's inside me? What's inside me? What's inside me?
Yeah,
but
I mean,
this is my pitch, Gavin.
Someone cut my mic.
It's called Alien. What's inside me?
Alien. What's inside me? No, like just give different directors this. This is my favorite, like very specific subgenre of film, like especially if we bring it outside of the Alien franchise. There's like 10-12 other movies in this subgenre of just space survival horror. Oh shit, something is on this spaceship. That's Event Horizon. That's Life. That's Pandorum. Sunshine to a certain extent is less supernatural, and I know, Gavin, you've got problems with that movie. I
need to rewatch it, but yeah.
My pitch is literally not literally. I want another crack at Alien Resurrection. Well, I've been holding on to this, but one of the very missed opportunities in this is I think Ripley should have been the villain. I think this is not the same version of Ripley. You have a version of Ripley that we already are like inherently don't trust because she's treating the performance like she's an android more than anything. Yeah. Like we didn't give credit. This is a weird Sigourney Weaver performance. She's doing something so different from the other movies, and I would argue much more interesting. Ripley as a character is great. I've never been completely enamored with Sigourney Weaver as Ripley, if that makes sense. She just kind of seems there to a certain extent. But I think given her connection with the aliens as sort of the mother in this movie, I think there's a much stronger version of this film where she sides with the aliens and Winona Ryder has to like trap her on the ship or has to kill her or something. And then Winona Ryder is the hero of it. Or like, honestly, no one should make it. It's weird that this is the only alien movie where like more than one person makes it out alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned that because if you look at each one of Ripley's performances or character arc, it's like the first one, final girl. It's the final girl.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Second one's the motherhood question. Third is cancer patient. She's a total cancer patient. Fourth one is like, I actually like that a lot, Sage, where it's like, why is it not? If it's evolving into this other being, this creature, why they locked up all the other specimens of her.
Yeah.
Like that would make a lot of sense. Actually.
It's not the same Ripley. Like it's weird that she still gets out okay and is the hero with like she's done some shit in the movie. I would also call it just to confuse everyone. I would call it Alien Resurrections.
They do try and make us feel that way. Like they try and hint at her. Like obviously Winona Ryder's character spells it out. Like we can't trust her. She's half alien. I never don't trust her in this movie though. I know we're supposed to.
The only one you can trust.
I just assume she's good, and it would be fun if she wasn't.
And
I
especially
really liked that
as a newborn hybrid, like just seeing how shitty humans are with every interaction she has with sex criminal Rod Perlman, with like Brad Dourif's insane psychopath doctor, with basically like the majority of the other crew. Some of them are like coded as pretty good people. The only good person in the movie really is not even a person. Winona Ryder.
Synthetic.
It's just like fuck it, give it to the aliens. I don't know Earth. I'm not even saying let the aliens land on Earth, but just like she should be siding with the aliens over the humans, or at least that's a more interesting. And that's not you can't shoehorn this into the exact version that we got, but like that would be a more interesting arc, is like have her be in villain versus have her, I don't know. I think her arc is just that she stops being a child and is a human. She doesn't have much.
If you own the IP, Sage, if you own the IP, can we do like a series of where it's all the replicant and robots of like Ian Holm to Lance Henriksen to Winona Ryder to Michael Fassbender to the evolution of replicant to
Just a
sentient
TV
robots?
show that really stitches together the lore of this universe.
I mean,
because
you
that's
gotta,
what
you
it
gotta,
needs.
you gotta throw in Soldier too, which is
Yeah.
the Kurt Russell movie that takes place in that world.
Does it?
Yes, it does. Yep, that's
Fascinating.
the evolution of replicants and robots. And stuff
Gavin,
like
you haven't seen Soldier, right? Despite being
I
the
have
biggest
not.
Kurt Russell fan I know.
Yes.
You'll love it for Kurt Russell. The movie itself
Yeah.
is whatever, and Gary Busey's actually pretty good in it. But
I've got real fond memories of that one. Cool. So we fixed the Alien franchise.
Yeah.
God, I hope Fetty doesn't like really lean too much into the lore you're saying about like what if Newt is. It's not even that the lore is sacred in the Alien universe. It's that it's
absolutely
impossible to remember, and I don't want them to like test my memory with anything.
Yeah.
Like there are xenomorphs, there is the corporation, there are androids. If they nail those three things, that's an Alien movie.
This is a series that like does survive well on Easter eggs, but like they have become the full course meal, especially in the prequel series, and I don't know if we need that the same way.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, I think that part of the benefit of having such diverse entries in the series is that nothing is sacred the same way. So I mean, let's do it. Fuck it, you know.
All right.
Go see Alien Romulus. Full endorsement.
I mean,
And,
I'm going.
any complaints about Sage's rant against Sigourney Weaver as Ellen Ripley? Only DM him. Don't DM me. I think she's great.
I don't think she's bad. I just don't think it's like an elevated performance the way that some people. I mean, I think that's true in like a lot of these franchises. She's pretty good in the first one. I don't like
She's
her in
great in the
Aliens.
first one.
I don't
Really? Oh wow!
But I think that's more the movie's fault than her fault.
Yeah.
Or my reaction to the movie. Whatever.
Well, did we do it, guys? Did we survive another space encounter?
So
I gotta
if
Are we
you
gonna crash land into Earth?
if you enjoyed this space encounter as much as we did, what would you recommend if people want to get more resurrection in their life?
I would like the Passion of the Resurrections in my life. Multiple alien Jesus.
No, this is our quick recommendation section. Yeah,
I have a movie.
I know you do.
1997. It's in 97 also.
Okay.
Okay. What is it, pray tell?
Should we
Event
guess?
Horizon.
Oh yeah. Is that
Event
97?
Horizon was also
Yeah.
97?
August 97. Made no
Oh,
money.
Wow.
No money.
That is a movie that like I don't think that there is a director's cut that really does save it from the parts that are less good, but there is so much great movie in that. I enjoyed that film so much. And yeah, the stories about the director's cut hidden in a salt mine and destroyed by the environment of what could have been is very fun to think about, because there's so much to like in that movie.
But I do like the less is more in it. Because it doesn't feel like there's like, oh, I'm missing something. Like,
Yeah,
there
I'm
clearly
sure
was
the
a subplot that got ruined. It's like, no, it's
No.
a thorough. It's a
Yeah,
very
that
thorough
movie
movie.
only needs to be faster. There's nothing
I'll-
like fucking
That
falls
movie's
to the wall.
short, man. That's a 90 minute.
That's
If
what
I
I'm saying.
can-
I'm saying it. Yeah.
So, like, Sam Neill's performance in Event Horizon, like, really reminds me that, okay, the problem is not Sigourney Weaver as Ripley. The reason I'm, like, never magnetized by her performance is, like, in every movie, she is surrounded by a bunch of fucking maniacs who get to be so extra, and she has to be, like, to the straight man, the smart person for a certain amount. You compare it to, like, the android performances.
We should be saving ourselves.
Or like Bill Paxton in 2, or like Charles Dance and pretty much everyone in 3, and then everyone in 4 is a fucking maniac. She gets to be a maniac in 4, and she's just on the level of everyone else as opposed to like holding it together. So that was very unfair of me to say about Ripley.
All right.
Yeah.
So no one DM Sage is what he's saying.
Event Horizon, though, good pick from the director of Soldier.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and Alien versus Predator.
AVP, baby, it's the AVP household.
I almost did that as my pitch, is just like, give me a version of AVP that's a little bit better. Because I think
Yeah.
like having it in Antarctica, removed from Earth, with like a weird little shifting ice base, like that movie should have been excellent. And it's just kind of, it's fine, honestly, but it's
It's a good time. It's a fun time for
Yeah.
a PG-13 movie too.
Yeah, I'll say for my recommendation is if you liked Alien and you like Predator and you skipped AVP because it doesn't really matter too much, but you didn't go see Prey because it doesn't have Predator in the title, or somehow missed it just even though it's so obviously a Predator movie based on its marketing, it's a fun ass movie. It's probably my second favorite Predator film, pretty easily, and
Should have been in a theater. Should have been.
yeah,
should have.
it's,
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun. It's a really nice just entry in the Predator franchise that has a lot of other mixed bag films. Predator 2 is fun, and the other ones are interesting in moments, but Prey is just very solid. Performances are strong, the creature effects are great, and yeah, it definitely deserved a big screen. Watch on the biggest screen you can find at home, I guess.
I would like a revival theater that just did like direct to streaming things on video.
Yeah.
So whether you like
it's great.
pay an
Like,
extra Netflix subscription to be able to see Beasts of No Nation in theater, but
Man,
like if
yeah.
you could get the streaming rights or whatever, or the
I wonder how hard that
theatrical
would
rights
be.
to all that stuff. Yeah, I wonder.
Probably
I feel
not
like
that hard.
maybe somewhat easy if you were just going, because I know like Amazon Prime, actually, I talk about this sometimes. They do have some theaters internationally that just show like their Prime Video stuff. They'll even show like their TV episodes. I've run into it in Paris. I don't know if it was an experiment that was there for a little bit or what. And Amazon obviously does actually put like a lot more of their movies into theaters than Netflix or Hulu. But like there's so many movies that I just didn't get to see in theaters, or I mean, fuck it, even like the Suicide Squad. I think that did go to theaters, but like, you know, during a
if we're
pandemic.
If we're lamenting even just the shrinking theatrical window, like there's movies I miss all the time that I would have loved to seen in a theater, and I just missed the 3 weeks that they were there.
Yeah, that's
'cause
a
I
little
was
bit harder
busy.
to put on studios, but you know, every time like a Netflix,
I put it right
like,
on them.
even the fact that like something like Six Underground or Gray Man, or like they just don't even have to be like good movies, but the fact that you put $200 million into a movie that is never shown in a theater is fucking insane. And both of those movies I would actually go see at a revival house. It's like an actual
Sage's
theater.
recommendation is
No.
Red One.
My recommendation, my favorite Alien movie to come out since Alien is Life. That's a movie that I saw earlier this year. I think it's really fucking solid. I think it starts out with so much grace. They have found life in the world, and they are studying it, and they are so excited. And then it morphs and it mutates, and like it becomes an alien movie, and everything about it like really feels right. It feels smart. It feels smarter than the first Alien in some ways. Just literally like because a lot of Alien happens because characters are making dumb decisions. Like people are making smart decisions in life, and it's still not enough.
Yeah,
That's what I mean by smart. I don't mean like the craft of the
man.
storytelling. Yeah,
They're
yeah.
space truckers in the first Alien. They're not
That
the
is
brightest
part of
people.
what makes Alien great.
Yeah.
Is that it is a blue collar movie.
Yeah.
People are making dumb decisions, but it's like they're not smart people. It's fine.
They're not. There's
Prometheus?
no part of their life that should be.
Prometheus
Everyone has
is
a
smart
PhD.
people
Everyone has a
making dumb
PhD in that.
decisions. Yeah.
Life was one of those movies that came out in theaters and I wanted to see, and I missed the theatrical window.
Yeah.
And I haven't watched it on streaming because it doesn't have the same appeal as a streaming film. That's one I really wanted to see in a theater.
Well, it's still pretty
Just
good
not
at
enough
home.
to go, apparently.
Yeah.
It's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it also brings back to like when you have those pitches, I was thinking like, yeah, like where do you bring it back to the haunted house aspect? Life is a good example for that.
All right. We did it. We did a sode.
Sure did.
By the way,
Benji, thank
I'm
you
an
for
alien.
joining us.
I'm an alien. I'm not an
Oh,
alien.
no.
I'm a robo alien. I'm
He's a
half
synthetic
robot, half
alien.
alien.
A
so-
Xenobot. It also like it always bothered me that they have different terms for like what a xenomorph infects, because xenomorph, if I'm breaking it down, if I'm being like silly grammar man, that just means foreign changing. That means an alien that changes. So they're all fucking xenomorphs.
Yeah. That's the I don't remember my Latin, but that's like the sandwich to the other alien's hamburger.
Yes, the Earl of Xenomorph was the first man to be xenomorphed.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
Dolly the sheep. R.I.P. lived a good life.
Benji, where can we find more of you on the internet?
As you said in the beginning, you plucked me from the
Warp Dimension, right?
But our handle is at Warped VHS. It's a whole thing. We are on eBay store as well. Warped VHS. Selling VHS. I need to actually put up some new stuff. But
do you have any copies of Alien Resurrection on VHS?
I don't have any Alien franchises. Just realized looking at my collection that I'm should be selling once I'm off of here. But as well as so at Warp VHS or at Movie Hopping is my regular one, Movie Hopping Benji. And our Patreon, which is the Warp Dimension TV, which you have over 100 episodes of VHS YouTube smashed together insanity, because I was on a planet as a replicant and had to mine the curator process further. So but yeah, come check us out at Warp Dimension, Warp VHS.
Benji, do you have the quadrilogy on something? Obviously not on VHS, but
I don't, because interesting enough, I think Hulu has had, because it's Fox, they've had a pretty good consistency of there's been like, I need more of it. I'm actually happy we talked about very briefly that this is coming to a theater, Romulus, because I could very well see them being like, let's just do it streaming.
Yeah, we'll just put it on Hulu, or like the weird place we're at in the world right now. I watched this movie on Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
It is owned by
where I also watched Titane again.
I love
it's a fantastic movie.
Talk about robots.
Yeah. Which, my God, how is that movie on Disney Plus?
Because the world has made it that way, and and that just keeps me happy as we go further down the hole. All right.
So we're Still Good Pod. We're at Still Good Pod on various socials. I guess it's just Instagram. We got a website.
We're elsewhere. Just don't follow us there, because you will be disappointed.
What are you gonna do? Go on Facebook and get a lot of bots?
And Sage, how do you unfuck a robot again?
You walk backwards.
Thank you so much, guys, for having me on.
Absolutely, this was
long
live
the resurrections.
All right, bye.
Strong ending there.
I don't know. I was like,
yeah. All right.
We looked outside and we saw Benji wandering around, so we decided to tag him in and talk about a few more movies. Gavin, I hope you saw this one. You know, they made more Alien movies this year.
Well, one of them.
But we did a podcast about one. Benji was on it. Was there only one Alien?
TV show still forthcoming, supposedly.
The Alien franchise.
That's right. There's an Alien Romulus. Supposedly it's getting a sequel. I wonder if it will be Remus. Probably.
Hope so.
This was from the director of Evil Dead, which is a movie that I, didn't particularly love. I think I owe a rewatch based on how much I liked Romulus. This was a really good time. This is up there for Alien movies for me.
I mean, I definitely think you've been too hard on the Evil Dead movie.
But I loved Rise, which is a different director. And that's apparently getting a sequel too. Some of these movies I'm not sure, like, it's not that I don't want to see more of it. Like, I do, but I almost kind of wish these people are so talented that I wish they were doing other things rather than like what I'd consider safe, because the versions that they've entered into it haven't always felt the safest. In terms of Evil Dead Rise, I think actually does take that franchise into new places. And I would like to see what else that director would do outside of the Evil Dead franchise. That being said,
did you like
it was pretty good.
Okay, would you like it if they set it in space?
It's I don't even think he even wrote a script.
It's pretty good.
I think he just sort of
I got no problems with that.
There's definitely I saw it twice. I had a really
so you hated it.
I really enjoyed the sound design
I saw it twice
from it.
not in theaters, but
yeah. And I think that there's that moment when
yeah,
the ship is crashing down. I mean, like, I'm a big fan of Sunshine. I forgive it for that third act, even though I think if that was more of like I always
Yeah.
sorry to negate on it. It's like if Sunshine's third act
Yeah,
was
it's
the whole
well
movie,
overdue on a podcast.
I would be very happy with. Or I just also felt like the 2/3 was like it felt like two movies battling in itself. Where I would have loved either version
Yeah.
of it, but I feel like
there's a nutty
And I feel
tonal
like-
shift
Which I personally
going on,
struggle
yeah.
with, but
Romulus is very consistent, and especially for the last few
Yes.
Alien films, or now they reveal themselves as aliens because Prometheus was like, no, it's
Right.
just it's like it's an alien film. But I've had other people
Was
come
that
up
ever
and
in
be like,
doubt?
well, it's just like another Disney franchise IP, and I'm like, yeah, but it looked like people enjoyed making the movie and putting like
Right.
color
it
and
was
light.
it was made with love.
Yeah, I will echo, the most common problems people have with Romulus, and I agree, is like there is a little bit too much like shoving the IP stuff in
Yeah.
there. Like you've got two kind of unforgivable things. One of them's just like I'm against, AI of dead people in general. I don't give a shit if their estate comes out, but also like it rarely makes real sense for the story. So to have Ian Holm come back when Lance Henriksen's still alive, like one from another movie that would have worked. I think that's pretty disgusting and gross, and I don't like watching it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was pretty bummed about
But Bishop's a good one of the good androids. Like that's the thing. It's like he's like the android that's actually good.
which could have made it even more
Right.
fun to have rather than the shorthand of all androids are evil, having him play against type could have been fun too. I was also just like, it could have been a new person. I
Yeah.
don't really need to see.
It's also just like a model. I never got the
Yeah.
idea that like all ashes were evil and all bishops are good. And
Well, it's not
we
even
have a good
Ash, it's Rook.
android.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's David and
Yeah.
what's the other android that Fassbender played? It's David and Daniel.
I couldn't tell you.
David's
in my head, it's just Michael.
Yeah.
It's David and Michael
I think it might be Michael. I think
it's
you're right.
Michael. Yeah, it's
I don't know.
so it's like
in Covenant.
how Covenant ends almost leads up to the mix of what it is that is Romulus, which is like protecting this weird zygote xenomorph thing. So I don't know. It's Xenogoat. The thing is that like why not just putting Ash in there and David Michael together? Like, I mean, I enjoyed it. I mean, like it made sense as a script wise. Like, yeah, Ash is one of the evil like Wayland Yutani like android,
Right.
so it didn't really
but
much.
And I mean, I guess like their argument probably is that it's the right era because it's technically a prequel to the first movie.
Mhm.
No, it's in between 1 and 2, isn't it?
Oh, okay. I mean,
Yeah.
so to me, like,
So
I
like
quickly,
either one of them would have worked.
I quickly shut that down in terms of just like I don't really care about the timeline anymore because Alien's going to be a franchise that I kind of pick and choose whatever my headcanon is,
Yeah.
and I want a movie
That's fair.
I want these movies to really stand on their own, and I
Yeah,
think
well,
that
I
this
think of
is
them-
one that
They're all prequels to Alien Resurrection.
while this one has a lot of callbacks and specifically to a fault, it has plenty internally. The characters themselves have enough going on that's what I get lost in. This crew that we watch is really fun. It's much more of like a teen. It feels more like a slasher movie than like a sci-fi movie in certain ways, where we're watching a crew of kids who have kid problems. Like they're sick of like the capitalistic world that they live in and they want to escape and they want to start families and like do kid stuff, it feels like. And there are a bunch of kids in space getting picked off by aliens, and it just feels much simpler than like the last few movies we've been trying to do, like these bigger world building, really getting bogged down, I would argue, in world building that I haven't really enjoyed. And this is a return to, form in terms of like, yes, when Disney jumps in and takes over a franchise, their first entry seems to be a mashup of the franchise to this point as like a recap. This is the more fun version of that than we've gotten with, I'd argue, Star Wars.
Well, I think that's something there. I
Uh,
think the one thing I think that the last two, the Ridley Scott ones, really, and I've even mentioned on the podcast, is that it's smart people doing really dumb things, And with this one, it's like they are young, and so it's like they're gonna make dumb decisions.
Yeah.
It's-
Young
they're
and
doing
they
the
have
best
high
they can.
stakes even
Yeah.
before aliens get introduced. Like,
Yeah.
Well,
they're gonna
and-
gamble in their situations just because they don't want to go back home.
well, they're gonna die because all their families have died in the mine. So I mean, it's like they know their fate. It's not like oh, it sucks you're on this planet. Like it's, but it's
Yeah.
like no, it's like we got what 10 more years. You know, it's like what's a generation? Like
10 more years in the mine. Yeah.
like generation beta right now that these kids are getting born now, and you think about it, like you got about 20 years until the planet's gonna be fucked, kind of like that. So
Oh God.
Yep.
You got to go work on the mines where they could just extend your contract at any time. I really liked that part of the world building.
Yeah.
I loved seeing like what the alien universe was like outside of a spaceship. And it's spoiler alert, it's terrible.
No, I mean, and I've always loved like Wayland Yutani,
yeah.
the corporation. Watching that has been some of my favorite stuff in this world in general. And to spend even more time with that, even if it's like a simplistic kind of cartoony version of evil, it's first of all weirdly relatable. Like it's just capitalism is so deeply rooted into our everyday blatantly that
Capitalism makes xenomorphs of us all, Gavin.
yeah, and to have that it didn't feel overwrought or anything to me. It just felt like finally we get to kind of laugh at a version of ourselves. And
a lot of this movie does feel graceful and unforced. You know what did feel really forced that took a whole star away from my review was having a character who was not Sigourney Weaver, was not around during that line, say, "Get away from her, you bitch." That is some unforgivable Disney ass shit.
Yeah, that was really rough. That was
That's
by
just
far the least.
But it had a stutter.
Yeah.
It had a stutter moment.
Yeah. Well, it's just like, and it's one of the things that could be saved easy on set or in post, and people made the decisions all the way to choose fan service over what actually makes sense. Because I would argue that still works if he just says, "Get away from her."
Yeah.
And I know that they're winking at me, but then he says, "You bitch."
Yeah.
And he says it in an annoying way, too.
It's funny, it's the Android that says it too. Sorry.
Yes.
Yes.
And he's such a fully formed character who's like adorable, and we fall in love with him like so easily in this movie. The performance is so strong.
Yeah.
Doing the dual character thing works great. It's such a strong performance, and that moment is so garbage.
I will say the audience
because again,
Burping 16 did love it both times. That line. They did get up and cheer.
And I don't want them to dumb down my experience because they're happy with what gets tossed to them at the circus.
I mean, well, that's half the film industry right there. It's like you want to work in the circus, but you want to make
the movie
art.
has enough of this.
Yeah,
I don't know. Well, you can do both of those things and respect the audience. I truly believe that.
Yeah. We still get a bunch of acid bloods a good time.
Oh god, that 0G sequence is premium.
The X-ray birth scene, fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
There's a lot to love. I really enjoyed this movie for giving those two big blunderful moments.
And unfortunately, I am very hard on movies that I think are almost great, but have like specific things that if I can see how to quote unquote fix a movie, I'm going to be a lot more difficult. I'm just like, oh, just don't have that scene. Have Triangle of Sadness end one shot earlier and it's a perfect movie. Like shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oftentimes it's just like, oh no, your movie ended 5 minutes ago and we're still here. That's the most common one.
But Triangle of Sadness is a filmmaker's vision. This is the popcorn.
If that's what he wanted to do, I just think it was a bad choice.
This is the pop. Oh yeah, I mean,
at least it wasn't like a studio exec deciding what I want. That was sometimes the filmmaker makes the wrong decision with their own film as well. I know how arrogant that is.
I will say the popcorn tasted just as sweet in Triangle of Sadness.
I mean, the thing is that I think the Star Crash at the end, beautiful. Also, if you're a big fan of Dead Space, seeing that kind of those images that
it was very Dead Space.
Yeah, I mean, I really was happy with that, especially since Callisto Protocol didn't go so well.
I have friends disappointed with the movie because it's not close enough Alien Isolation, which they love. Like multiple people have said this, I'm like, right, but they're not actually adapting that game, man.
Yeah, it's not Ripley's daughter.
It's not fair to be mad about.
Yeah.
But apparently that's one of the best examples of like what the Alien franchise can do, and everyone kind of stands for that game. I'm not going to play it because I don't like getting scared in video games. Movies don't scare me. Video games terrify me. I couldn't make it through Dead Space. Why don't they give you a flashlight? I'd be less scared if you just always had a flashlight. How dare you, developers?
Makes me want to go play some
But
Silent
yeah,
Hill.
Alien Romulus. I think it slots in as my third, maybe fourth favorite Alien movie, which I suppose makes it middle of the pack, but like it's pretty good.
It might be my second favorite, to be honest. It's a very good time.
I will say that Alien Resurrection is my second after that episode.
You know, it's just funny. I remember on our episode we gave a lot of hate to Aliens, James Cameron movie, and I'm like, that is my favorite Alien movie. What am I talking about? So
It's okay.
You were right in the wave. Neither of us care about it.
So I mean,
it
shares with sort of, I don't know. I think I mentioned though, like each of them, what my mood is. Like with this one, this is a
Sure.
very like, it's very cut and dry. Like, hey, we're going in. It's a slasher. You know, same thing with like the first movie being it's a haunted house film.
Yeah.
So it finds that if you want to get some more deeper themes, go to 3. 3, I think the themes are really tough, and that's why I think people didn't like it in the end.
Themes are tough at the expense of an entertaining movie.
And what version you watch too, because I feel like there's a certain tone that's there. I mean, you know, but yeah, and then Resurrection's just like this one definitely falls into the Resurrection realm of like this is just a like fun, gory movie.
Yeah.
Or-
And I
I
think
mean,
that
it
was
almost has the same third act.
right. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that was kind of charming watching this movie kind of be a love letter even to Resurrection, which
Yeah, even to
you know,
Prometheus.
I wasn't expecting.
Like,
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
I wasn't expecting an ounce of Prometheus, and instead we got multiple ounces of black goo
Yeah.
And the head
and a little engineer baby.
and the alien head at the end is
Yeah, engineer
Yes.
baby.
engineer baby next to the crow baby that Sage is calling
Yeah.
for.
Well,
Um,
the engineer is Gavin's favorite creature design, so it's a
human
podcast,
being.
Gavin. You can't just shake your head. You got to explain the joke that I'm doing.
Not a fan of the engineer.
Okay.
That's the bit.
But were you a fan of Romulus?
Yes.